Sashi Tharoor says that Britain owes India a lot of money, considering all the loot. Where do you stand on this?
So Shashi doesn't say that. Shashi says, Shashi doesn't call for reparations, certainly. What Shashi says is that this loot was taken, and this needs to be acknowledged by Britain, and he suggests a 1 rupee or 10 rupee token payment each year just to acknowledge that this has happened. And I would find it hard to argue with that. But the problem is that the British simply don't know this. It's not taught to them. Every country likes to think that their grandparents and great-grandparents were heroes. The British have, are very happy to take in that the French Empire was a terrible thing, that the Dutch Empire was worse, the Belgians was even worse than that. But our empire was, was merchant ivory, ladies in crinoline dresses, parasols, smiling elephants, maharajas, croquet and similar. And it was a splendid affair. And this is genuinely believed. So one of the reasons that I've written a book that you could interpret as saying, I take your side, which I would dispute, but it's certainly, I try and say it as it is that the British need to know this, because I actually genuinely think that that the current screw-up in Britain with Brexit comes a lot from this sense of British exceptionalism, which in turn comes from the sense that we're this sort of anti-racist. I mean, it's ridiculous said in this room, but say it in a club in London, and everyone's like, oh yes, it's absolutely splendid. This wonderful liberal force that fought for liberty, fought for freedom, and fought against racism, and this is widely believed. So before any of this discussion about returning the Koh-i-Noor, emptying the British Museum, sending the loot home, reparation, before any of that could even begin to be discussed, you need education. You need this to be on the curriculum. You need people to know this stuff. They need to know
Have you ever had any reader in Britain come and tell you that now, after reading your book, he's extremely ashamed of his ancestors?
I have that every day on Twitter. Versions of that. The book's being serialized on Radio 4 this week. And so there's been a lot of traffic. Because people genuinely don't know it. And they're not sort of, they're not against receiving this. I mean, the book's been a bestseller there as well as here. But it's just not taught. And to an extent that people in this country will be amazed at, the British simply don't know this, which is why, literally, a month after the Brexit vote, what's the civil service do? It recommends to Theresa May to go to the old Commonwealth and reconnect to all those old ties. And what do they call it? In the working plan, I'm not making this up, it's called Empire 2.0. And they come here, and remember Theresa May coming to see Modi? But they said, oh yes, we're longing, it's like you've left an old motorbike in a garage, your car's broken down, so you fish out your keys and you turn and you expect the machine to purr into life, and off you ride into the sunset. And of course, it doesn't work like that. And Theresa May was sent packing, largely because she wouldn't offer any visa privileges to Indians. And Modi was saying, basically, if you open up your visa system, we will, of course, respond. And she said, no way. So the whole thing went flat in its face. So I genuinely believe there's a major problem here, a major perception issue.